Okay, so this would be the first of my 3 upcoming gaming headset reviews, and I wanted to actually start off with the cheapest one first, but also the most popular and most commonly known one, the HyperX Cloud II. I just had to review these because maybe I won't be able to tell you anything new about those, but I needed them as a kind of reference point or benchmark for all the upcoming reviews in the future, like for example the Cloud Revolver, the successor to the Cloud II, and for something a little bit more expensive like the Razer Manowar, and that will definitely help you in the future to better compare them with each other. And a big shout out to Cyberport for lending me all 3 of these for a review, because otherwise I wouldn't be able to play with all of these, so check out the links in the description. And I would say let's check the headphone now. Okay, so what do we get? Of course, the headphones themselves, along with a 1 meter long braided cable. It makes a solid high quality appearance along with a gold plated 3.5mm jack at the end. This means you can also use these with any common smartphone or similar. But if you want to actually use them at your PC or just extend your range, there's a 2 meter long USB cable with a remote at the end to plug in the Cloud II. It allows you to control the volume of the headphones but also of the mic, and on the side there's a mute switch, and in the center we see the 7.1 button to enable or disable the virtual surround sound. Besides that, there's a detachable and flexible microphone, and at last a second pair of cups out of velour to provide a different level of comfort but of sound as well. But let's take a few more seconds and talk about the headphones now. They make a clean but elegant appearance, and in my opinion just look good. They seem very sturdy and robust, nothing I'd ever worry about. The padding at the top is thick and soft enough, same goes for the cups as well. The leather cups are nice and soft, and most importantly big enough to go over my ears without touching the ears itself at any point. Something particularly important for me, but I'll get to the actual comfort a bit later. The velour cups are noticeably harder and slightly less comfortable, but will allow your ears for a little bit more breathing and less sweating during long gaming sessions. But that's enough for now, let's move on. Now let's talk about the comfort though, because they have to be comfortable after all. And using them with the leather cups, I have to say, once you put them on for the first time, you will notice one thing. They just seem to fit as they should, just right. A nice firm tight fit. They don't move towards the back, the front or anywhere. They just stay as they are, and that's just great. So comfortable, so nice, because this was something that I always usually complained about. My ears don't touch anything, not anywhere around, not anywhere at the cups or at the driver. It's just right, and the leather cups are definitely sealing your ears nice around. It's maybe not quite the proper noise cancelling, but it definitely filters out a lot of the noise, and I just like the fit of them. Yes, maybe they put a little bit too much pressure on the jaw, which could be a little bit fatiguing over time, but I guess if you use them for a longer period of time, they will loosen up a bit, and I have to say they are just maybe the most comfortable or most proper sitting headphones that I've ever had. Now about the velour cups, I have to say they are noticeably less comfortable because I felt like the velour is just a little bit too hard, but therefore they allow your ears to breathe a little bit more, which could be helpful for longer gaming sessions. I didn't feel that the leather was any worse though, because it got a little bit warmer and a little bit sweaty, but nothing I really noticed during using them, so I'm perfectly happy with the comfort of these. Just absolutely right.
Before getting to the actual sound of the headphones, let's talk about the microphone quality. And as you can already hear, it doesn't sound all that impressive. It does maybe have a lot of background hiss, as you can hear now. But you can also hear that it doesn't sound high quality or anything like that. It sounds quite muffled, and a lot of details are missing with no clarity at all. So maybe good enough for an online gaming session, but for anything more demanding, don't do it. Just use a proper microphone instead.
Enough jibber jabber. How do they actually sound? And here I want to start off with the gaming experience first, and I would definitely recommend you to actually use the 7.1 surround sound, because maybe it doesn't provide a real surround sound where you can locate if something is behind or in front of you. But what it does is, and this is something that I really know to appreciate it boosts certain frequencies to just make you feel way more immersed. It didn't feel like in the stereo mode like I was looking at the plain 2D monitor, but I felt like I was in the action and like there was actually going things on around me. And it sounded really great. I didn't maybe get all the details in the mids like I did on the Razer Manowar, but it definitely felt great, and for the price actually totally fine. I was really in the game, in the action. I liked the experience. Highs were still clear. I could hear all their factory noise, and the overall gaming experience was after all really good and way more than I expected for this price. Let's finish off the audio part with the music listening experience, and I hope you can forgive me a few more mistakes here because I get a little bit overly excited when talking about these, because I did not expect the sound to be what it is, because I've seen so many reviews in the past praising them to be one of the best sounding headphones in this price level, but I always thought, what exactly is that even supposed to mean? So I compared them with my $300 Sony headphones, and I honestly have to say I like the sound a lot more here, because don't expect something flat or linear here. It's a gaming headset after all, and boosted in the bass and in the highs with a little bit toned down mids, but in a way that is exactly right to my ears, because the bass is not too much but still a little bit nicer to look at. It's a very nice tight deep bass, really punch. The highs are like kind of cut off, so they are not too harsh for a longer session. If you want to listen to really long music, this was exactly the one to go for, because it never felt fatiguing to me and I really enjoyed that. And the mids, the details on the mids are absolutely amazing. Way more than I would have ever expected from headphones that cost just around 100 or even less. With the leather cups, I got a nice close soundstage, and I was feeling like exactly within the band listening to the music, and it was just great. The bass exactly where I wanted to be, with the mids having all the details that I want, and the highs not to be too harsh for a longer listening experience. Now, when we talk about the velour cups, there is a difference, because the soundstage actually widens, it gets bigger, you don't feel quite as immersed, but therefore you get a little bit more details in the highs, and the bass is slightly toned down. So if you prefer that, you will definitely get a great sound experience as well, but I definitely like the leather cups more in terms of comfort, but especially in terms of sound, because the sound stage was exactly the way I wanted it. It was such a nice, rich and warm music listening experience for hours and hours without getting fatiguing, exhausting or unsatisfying at all. So I have to say, this is the sound that I would have actually expected from something way more expensive, but I guess these are usually more audiophile and not that much sounded. So I have to actually say I prefer sounded, especially if done that well to my ears. All I can say is I'm extremely impressed. Okay, let's wrap this review up, and I have to say I am a little bit speechless, because I did not expect to get so much for this kind of money. Because in terms of functionality, we get a microphone if you want that, we get the virtual surround sound that actually makes games more immersive, we get the remote control, we get the extension with the cable, we get a second pair of ear cups, and that already is great, but they also feel very comfortable, so I enjoyed these to have on for multiple hours, and in the end it's the sound experience that was blowing my mind, especially for this money. I thought personally I would have to pay at least double the amount that I would have to pay for these to get this one, but I actually don't think I will get something similar for even double the price, because I had the Cloud Revolver 2 here and I had the Razer, and for the price I have to say the value of this one is impressive, and I actually think of picking up one of these myself, but I want to definitely try a lot more headphones in the future. But then I would have to actually think of what I don't like on these, and I really can't think of anything, because everything is absolutely great. Yes, a few people definitely will complain about the microphone, but I don't care, since I would use something proper anyways. But what I get here for, I don't know, 80, 90 or maybe $100 is absolutely mind-blowing. Absolutely makes me speechless, because they are so comfortable, that they sound also great is something that I did not expect at all. The value is even great. They make a durable feel, they are sturdy, so there's nothing wrong. So if you want to spend more money and get maybe something better, okay, let's give it a try, but I actually think they are almost too good for its price, and it will be very hard for every competitor to keep up with those. And even the successor, the Cloud Revolver, has a hard time even keeping up, but I will get into that in that review as well. So I definitely enjoyed this review a lot, reviewing those, not the review process so much, but if you follow me on social media, you know why. But if you enjoyed the review, please give it a thumbs up and subscribe to the channel for hopefully more gaming headset reviews in the future. And if you have any questions or comments, just leave them down below. And what I will have to do now is listen a lot more to them, but not now, because I have to go to work. Okay, until next time, bye.